knowledge. It's only just saying what.
Oh, epic save. Epic save.
Jesus Christ, he's just going hard in the
No.
mic. Too good, too good, too good, too good.
Save.
Gee. I didn't think that was loud, actually. Yeah, I'm just gonna not play Rocket League, I guess.
Pink.
Bro. Tuka two ta ta, tuka two ta ta, tuka two ta ta.
Bless me.
Whoa.
Pink. Wait, what?
Bro, Cameron, I'm about to like send you to the back rooms.
Bro, that thing I'm Pink. I sent them out of this world. You are more dead than human. These NPCs are more dead than human. Cause they're NPCs, my guy. You actually got the joke. That's actually the first person that got a joke when I was referencing to NPCs. Bro, no way. I hate these people. No, demolition. Now you got me saying demolition.
What the heck?
Hey, Mom. I'll be there in a sec.
What? Okay, I'm just I'm bored.
You know, I'll just be right back.
Alright. So basically, the game plan is that... Buddy?
Yeah.
Somebody in my class thinks they're the main character. No, just kidding.
Oh.
Imagine. The anime kid thinks he's the main character. I have plot armor! You can't kill me! Kills him. Bruh.
The camera's in here, they scored on us.
Ta ta, tuka tu ta ta. Tuka 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 tu ta ta, tuka tu ta.
Buddy, does Fortnite shut down for you?
I don't think so. Only Rocket.
Let's play it.
No, I'm not really in the mood to play any epic games right now.
Okay.
Maybe
No, I'm just kidding.
maybe when Cameron wants to. I'll play
That was the
Fortnite.
easiest score in your life.
Cameron, do you want to play Fortnite after you guys are done with that?
No thanks.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really in the mood for Fortnite.
You used to be. I don't know.
Fortnite got really boring. Why? Because you're too good at it?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Kind of.
That must get actually boring. Like, if you're just too good at something, it's just too easy.
I know.
Down in Ohio.
Down in Ohio, swag like Ohio. Down in Ohio, swag like Ohio.
Down in Ohio, swag like Ohio. Down in Ohio, swag like Ohio.
Yo! Cool. I'm gonna...
Down in Ohio, swag like Ohio. Down in Ohio, swag like...
I already went back to lobby.
When my dad is rapping.
Okay.
Down in Ohio,
I need
swag
to, I'm gonna give myself some, crackers real quick.
Bro,
Okay.
why does
I'm gonna get
everyone
myself some...
everywhere play? Bro.
I'm gonna get some crackers too. Demolition. Let me go get some crackers.
Demolition. Okay,
Buddy, what's wrong with demolition?
sounds weird. Just saying. And plus, how Cameron put his mic close to his face, so the audio sounded horrible. So you guys are like, demolition! And I'm like, demolish. Demolition? Demolition? Cool.
Alright, well, let me get crackers now.
Why do you guys eat while you play? It's concerning a little bit. Nope. Come on. Oh! Bro, this kid sucks. How am I losing him? Dude, this kid thinks he's as slick as Jesse and James. This kid. No, come here, kid. Come here. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Stop! Stop! Oh my god. Oh my god.
Get crackers, but I got bread.
Oh! What? How? This kid sucks.
Alright, guys, what do you want to do?
Cameron's not even back yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I really felt like I heard him.
Down in Ohio.
But what do you want to do?
I'm just playing Minecraft Java Edition right now.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of waiting for everybody. I can't really play.
Everybody, it's only me and Cameron.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh wait, that was actually so good.
Down.
Oh shoot, I'm supposed to be on Fortnite with my friends right now.
LOL.
What?
So you're supposed to be right now. Like, bro, actually.
Yeah, I literally forgot to get on. I gotta hop on right now, bro. Meanwhile, I eat my bread. Buddy, are you streaming?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, frick, I hear my loud chewing. My very intense chewing.
They're probably gonna be like, Blazing Wins MC, why aren't you uploading so long?
For real?
Your 14 fans are probably just waiting for you right now. I'm just kidding.
Honestly, it's because I don't have any ideas for videos. Like, I can't think of any at all.
Then why don't you even try?
I tried today, but I couldn't think of one.
Or at least try to start streaming. Like, that's like the very least you can do. Like I do, since, you know, it's just quick and easy.
Hold on.
Oh! How? Bro. Whoa!
This is so good.
Oh! Stop! How are you doing this without any slow falling? Come on, man.
So good, bro. I gotta go get more. I'm gonna get more real quick. Okay?
Okay.
Either I'm gonna get more or I'm gonna get actual crackers this time. Alright, see you in a bit.
Oh god. Stop. No! Oh! How? No! Yes! How? How? No! How, bro, go. You literally fucking killed this. How?
Buddy,
Yeah.
wait, is Cameron back? Still?
How?
I got my crackers.
Okay.
Alright, time to get one.
Oh.
What?
It's kind of annoying, but
I'm just chomping, my guy.
what do you mean? It's ASMR. It's kind of weird too.
I'm not trying to ASMR. I just think I am, but...
Platypus?
What the heck did you just say?
I said platypus.
Patty-puss?
Platy.
Oh, platypus.
From Diary of a Woman Kid.
Oh.
The
I don't read Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Well, not like at home. You know, that's understandable. Like at school.
Oh, I still don't read it at school.
Then what kind of books do you have then?
Better books than Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
There's like nothing better than Diary of a Woman Kid.
Oh, I think Diary of a Wimpy Kid's trash.
What? It's not even like funny. It's just interesting. But I wouldn't read it at like home or anything. Like I'd rather not read it. But, you know, it's like the best book series.
I think Dogman is way better.
Dude, Dogman kind of sucks.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Like it actually sucks.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid actually sucks too. Hi, Maximus Prime. Hi. Nice.
Bro, what the heck? Like, Dominion's just like.
Oh, nah, you're not getting my address, bro.
Who are you talking to?
Nah, that's scary, bro. You're not going to my house.
What the heck?
I swear to God, if you're like a 40-year-old man.
Who are you talking to? Are you talking to an online friend?
Damn, you are a 40-year-old man? Ew.
Yo, he just said the D word.
You know what? You want to cut my what the Hey, nah. You can't do that, bro. That's too sus. Bro, what happened to Josiah? Oh. Damn. Oh, okay. Oh. Damn. On Fridays, I get to stay up like at 11 or 12.
I'm saying the D word right now, bro. Well, it's not really a good D word, but... Are you even allowed to say that? Oh, bro.
Allowed to say what?
Damn.
Huh, I'm talking about my cousin. Allowed to say what?
Damn.
Yeah, sometimes.
Unfair. I'm not really allowed to.
No, not say that, bro. Nah, you're tripping.
Okay.
Jewels, I bet.
Kevin, please come back soon.
Yeah, only if I had headphones on.
I'm gonna watch this stream. I'll see what he's doing.
Nah,
Just,
chill.
like if he's playing without us or whatever. Unfair, bro. I'm not really allowed to.
No, not say that, bro. Nah, okay, chill.
I'm gonna meet you, buddy. I'll be.
Okay.
Actually,
Jewels, I bet.
I'm gonna deafen you real quick.
Mm.
Kevin, please come back soon.
Yeah, only if I had headphones on.
I'm gonna watch this stream. I'll see what he's doing.
Nah, chill.
Just, like if he's playing without us or whatever.
Okay, chill.
I'm gonna meet you, buddy. I'll be. Actually, I'm gonna deafen you real quick.
Take a lick. Actually, you're probably before mine. Why do I have to tell you how old I am? November 1st. Okay, how old are you then? Same.
What am I?
Nah, you're trying to find me. Nah. What'd you say?
What am I?
My cousin says what?
Wait, once my well, not once.
November 1st.
One of my classmates has the same birthday as me. He's only older by like 2 hours. He's older by 2 hours.
Bro.
One of my classmates
is older by like 2 hours than me. What'd you say?
One of my
cousin sounds what? What Maximus?
Wait, once
Prime?
my well, not once, but one of my classmates has the same birthday as me. He's only older by like 2 hours. He's older by 2 hours.
Bro. Wait, your friend is older by like 2 hours than me? I don't know. Lil Whip.
What the heck?
What Maximus Prime?
Am I seriously
Whip it up. Lil Whip. I don't know. No. Lil Whip.
What the heck?
Lil Whip. Take a lick. Lil Whip it up. Actually, I don't know. No.
Is Cameron ever gonna be back?
Nice.
Honestly, this is like concerning. Like he's like a missing dog.
No, wanted the hammer. I look for it. Actually, I don't know.
So easy. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I know that. Oh, I got another hammer.
Yeah, is Karen ever gonna be back?
Damn. I found
Honestly,
a
this
white
is
chest.
concerning. Like he's like a missing.
No,
child.
one of the hammer. Hey, yo, that's kind of sus.
Gun. So easy. Oh my
That's
god.
actually
oh my
kind of
god.
sus. I know that. Oh, hey, yo, I got another hammer. Nah, that's way too sus. You said because I kind of like you. You said that, bro. Okay.
Buddy, can you kind
As
of
a
lead
friend,
the call?
yo, that's kind of sus. That's actually kind of sus. Hey, yo, nah, that's way too sus. You have no mats right now. You said because I kind of like you. You said that, bro. Okay.
Buddy, can
As
you
a
kind of
friend, you're actually more higher level than my friend.
Buddy, can you kind of just leave the call if you're not gonna really do anything? But
My friend is no mats right now. Bro, you're actually more higher level than my friend, and I'm stuck.
Buddy, can you kind of just leave the call if you're not gonna really do anything here? But
my friend is showing sprints. Joining the party? Okay. He's dead? And I'm stuck? Okay, there you go. Oh, showing sprints. Joining the party? Okay. I don't know. I don't have good sight in this game.
the heck?
Oh. I already have a purple machine SMG. If I get a dump shotgun, I don't have good sight in this game. Happy, bro.
the heck?
Oh. I already have a purple 780 because I don't play it. Damn. This is cracked.
Wait.
If I get a dub shotgun, I'm about to get so happy, bro.
New Zealand, the answer is probably.
I'm about to take this hammer.
New Zealand doesn't pose much of a threat militarily and is one of the most remote countries in the world.
Yeah, which is really cracked. 780 because I don't play it.
Australia is unlikely to
damn.
Weapons,
I have 2 hammers, bro. This is cracked.
Wait, dang.
For hundreds of years, Africa has been treated as an all-you-can-eat buffet by colonial powers.
I'm about to
Almost
take
all
this
the countries
hammer.
on the continent being invaded, colonized, and looted other resources, and even their people. Today, they have a complex relationship.
Yeah,
with
which is
both
really
great powers.
really
But
cracked.
many countries are seeing their economies grow at an astonishing rate, and other countries investing in factories and talent.
I have 2
China in
hammers, bro.
particular has seen its investment in the continent grow.
Dang.
Bounced with you. I bounced with you.
Military
Ew, that sounds sus.
in these nations. Africa has no nuclear powers, and its militaries are unlikely to get involved directly in any conflict. So the most likely problem Africa is going to face is
heck?
with rival powers interfering
Hold on.
in each other's investments. But for other countries, prospects are thornier. Could the United
Oh, what
States
the
survive
heck?
World War III? Well, they have a few advantages. For one thing, they're
Hold on, you gotta try this. That is so weird.
allowed them to
Ew, that
experience
sounds
minimal
sus.
conflict on the home front during the first 2 world wars. But this time, there's an additional threat: nuclear weapons, which means that the enemies can hit any country anywhere
The
in the
heck?
world.
Nah, you gotta give me that thing back.
China have the ability to hit the U.S. homeland right now.
Oh,
with North
okay, that's true, but there's the second hammer right here.
Also very spread out, with dozens of cities dotted around the world's
Hold on, you gotta try. I know,
It's
that is so
sustained
weird.
massive hits. If the war goes nuclear, it's well equipped to survive. And if its survival is truly in danger, so is the rest of the world's. its most vulnerable areas might be Pacific
No.
holdings, including the
Damn,
state of
bro.
Hawaii and
Nah,
the
you gotta
territory of
give me
Guam,
that thing back.
and its neighbors are largely in the same boat. There's a reason
Okay,
there
that's
isn't
true,
likely to
but
be any
there's a
major
second
conflict
hammer
on
right here.
American soil. All of the countries there are relatively friendly with each other. Canada
I know,
is a
should
member
we-
of NATO and a close ally of the U.S., and the two are likely to be on the same side. Relations with Mexico can be a little chillier, and the country was famously approached to join
Alright.
Germany in World War I.
There's a
with the
reboot van right here,
Damn,
so
bro.
kill anyone if they're near.
It's not likely to actively side against the United States.
We're already
It's not
here.
likely to be targeted directly during the war, except in a full-scale nuclear barrage. Although Canada is uniquely vulnerable in some ways, that's because despite being the world's second largest country, the vast majority of its population is located in less than 10 cities, less than an hour from the U.S. border. And in
We're
the same
actually
boat,
already
one
here.
of the ringleaders of the
There's a
other
reboot
side,
van right here,
China is
so
likely
kill
to be a
anyone if
key
they're
player
near.
in World War III along with Russia, as the leaders of the forces
We're
opposing
already
the
here?
US and its allies.
I wanna try it. I wanna try, bro.
Strategically. For one thing, the belligerent Vladimir Putin is likely to provoke retaliation.
I tried it.
with
Wait, is that another
flashing
one?
war crimes.
Oh, it's a
While the
guardian
ruthless
shield.
Xi Jinping will be able to stay further under the radar.
Come on, dude.
China is also roughly the
Press
size of the
A.
United
We're
States
actually
and
already
is
here.
the most populous country in the world. If things escalate to nuclear weapons, the country will likely take some massive hits, probably from the U.S., but also possibly from
I wanna try it.
But
The
it
guardian
will
shield,
for
bro.
its enemies to destroy the country without endangering the future of all life on Earth.
I
The
tried
same
it.
can't be said for
Wait,
these
is that
countries.
another one?
These are
And there's
the
a
ones
hammer
that are in
lying
serious
around.
danger of being wiped off the map. We have to start
Come
with the
on,
most
dude.
vulnerable countries in the case
Press
of
A.
World War III breaking out, Ukraine and Taiwan. If this global war starts, it'll likely start right there, and some might say it already has. Right now, Ukraine is turning the tide on Russia. They're
The guardian
supplying
shield.
with heavy-duty NATO artillery and are shooting down Russian planes and blowing up their ships.
Oh,
while
frick.
Russia is limited to committing indiscriminate war crimes.
And there's a
Alright, well, I got
hammer
a
lying
guardian
around.
shield.
by
now.
draftees. But if Putin gets backed into a corner and starts using nuclear weapons, the tide could turn very quickly, and Ukraine could see its largest cities destroyed in a flash. From there, it would be overrun, and the devastated country would become little more than a staging ground for Putin's next conquest. And the same could happen half a world away. China is less likely than Russia
Oh,
to use
frick.
nuclear weapons against Taiwan, mostly due to Taiwan's
Alright, well, I got a
size.
guardian
Such an
shield
attack would
now.
destroy the
Bro, I
small
barely
island,
got
but
any
because of
shot.
China's
No, that was my
ambition to
thunder pump, bro.
reincorporate the nation, it is unlikely. In order to do that, it would likely start with a shock and awe attack, hitting Taiwan with a naval assault, blasting through its defenses, and likely causing mass destruction as well as
No, I
power
dropped it
and
on
access to
accident.
resources in its largest city, Taipei. This would all happen very fast, and while Taiwan could likely hold out for a while, China has more resources and deadlier weapons. Unless the
Bro, I
United
barely
States
got
get
any
directly
shot.
involved
No,
and
that was my
start
thunder
firing
pump,
back,
bro.
Taiwan would likely still exist as a plot of land, but the nation,
You
its
see.
government, and the people would become nothing more than a pawn and a hostage for China. Back
Okay.
in Europe, Ukraine isn't the only country in Europe.
No, I dropped
thing
it
is
on
OP.
Access
accident.
to the Baltic Sea for a long time, and its only water access is limited. The odds are these small nations would be the first on the chopping block once Putin triumphs over Ukraine and World War III is on. All these countries, Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia, are in NATO, but any
You
pretenses
see.
of respecting that larger alliance are likely out the window at this point. Putin will be looking to reclaim
Okay.
its borders of the old Soviet Union, and these countries
That thing is
all
OP.
border Russia or its puppet state Belarus. That makes them easy pickings, and the countries to Russia's south aren't any safer. Russia has long held that it wants NATO off its border, and NATO members close by would be
wanna
likely
get
its
it.
first targets. That includes Moldova and Romania. And in those cases, there's an extra thorny issue to discuss. The semi-autonomous
Hold on, we gotta
region
check, but give me it back.
that is claimed by both Russia and Moldova. But Russia has long held that the region's residents
it's
would
my
like to
pet.
join Russia. Is this true? No one knows, and any referendum they hold would likely be conducted at gunpoint, just like the ones done in Donbass. But in the breakout of a larger conflict,
I wanna get it.
the odds are that Russia would just march in, take Transnistria,
Sure.
and maybe even Moldova for that matter. If things went further, like the
Hold on, we
Baltic
gotta
states,
check, but
this
give
would
me it
lead
back.
to war with NATO, as the next country in the region on Russia's chopping block is Romania.
No, it's
who is
my
a member
pet.
of NATO.
I literally
It's
just
largely
found
past
it.
the point of caring. In fact, just about all of Europe would be
I found it
facing
right
an
now.
existential threat. While Russia is gigantic, the same can't be said about any of its neighbors. In the events of a full-on nuclear war, most of Putin's
Sure.
enemies would find themselves suffering massive destruction and loss of life. Most of these countries would have key cities that could be easily targeted with mid-range
What?
missiles from Russia, if those missiles still work. Russia relies
I
heavily
literally
on
just
Cold War
found
era
it.
weaponry, and that means anything could happen. But if he lets
I
them
found it
go,
right now.
Germany, France, and the UK could all face annihilation, and so could the rest of the world. If Putin maintains a more measured approach, he would likely continue advancing from his earlier conquests And that means Poland and Finland would likely also be in serious danger. But Russia has invaded Finland before, and
What?
the Finns proved to be more than the Russians bargained for. So, Europe's fate lies in the hands of Putin making the right choice. That's comforting. In Asia, it's
Dang.
a different story. China's military is newer and more effective than Russia's, so the odds are they take a different approach. They've been dealing the death of 1,000 cuts to many nearby nations already, particularly Vietnam and the Philippines.
Let's
They've
go!
been taking
Let's
over
go.
the territorial
That was a
waters,
fast-paced
creating artificial
round.
islands to serve as military bases, and declaring the entire
I'm dead.
seas
I'm
as
already
their
dead.
territorial waters.
Nice.
None
Nice
of
game,
these
nice.
countries are prepared for a full-scale war against a major power, so odds are they'd be taken over quickly in the event of a war, with China using them as a staging ground for a larger conflict. That would possibly inflict massive damage on those nations, but would be unlikely to destroy them.
Let's
The same
go!
can be
Let's
said
go.
for another
That was a
If there's a
fast-paced
country in
round.
Asia that's most vulnerable besides Taiwan.
Yo!
I'm dead. I'm
The
already
strongest
dead.
economy in
Oh
Asia
my
besides
God,
China.
this
Bro, wait for me.
Its ally, but it also doesn't have a particularly strong military due to World War II treaties. It relies heavily on the United States for its defense.
I'm getting a Deku Smash. I switched it out with the
Military
Phoenix.
bases, which makes it an inviting target for a Chinese attack. This would be seen as a 2-for-1 benefit if war breaks out in Taiwan. Not only would China be potentially kneecapping the American
No!
but it would
Do you need a
be
med kit?
revenge
Oh
on Japan
my God,
for
that
the
was-
Bro, wait for
devastation
me.
by Imperial
Here you
Japan
go,
to
take-
China
take
almost
one.
a century ago. Could Japan become both the first and second country to be hit by a nuclear weapon? It depends on
I'm
how
getting a
much
Deku
China
Smash. I
wants.
switched it
got a
out with the
Deku
Phoenix.
Smash.
The most likely initial target for China in the region. And if China and the U.S. go to war, there are a lot of countries in the way. What do Kiribati, Tuvalu, and Nauru have in common? They're all
You
some of
need
the
a med
smallest
kit?
countries in the world, and they're also in the way of a war.
You actually
between
survived
the
that
United
one.
States and China. They're part of a network of small
Alright.
island nations in Oceania, along with Vanuatu, Fiji, Samoa,
I got a
Micronesia,
Deku
and the
Smash.
Solomon Islands, and the
Yes!
Cook Islands. And if a full Pacific War breaks out, odds are they'll be quickly invaded by whichever country gets there first. They're closer to China, which makes occupation by them more likely. And while it's unlikely that they'd be hit by heavy artillery, these vulnerable nations could cease to exist
You actually
very
survived
quickly
that.
and wind up as heavily damaged pawns in a larger
Alright.
conflict. And while these superpowers
Oh, it's up-
battle it out,
it's up here.
nations hang in the balance. Some other countries might be in serious danger.
Yes!
from local
Oh no, sorry.
There's another country that plays a host to a huge number of U.S. troops and bases, South Korea, which has heavily
Oh,
relied
My
on the
Hero
US for its
Academia right
defense
here.
since the Korean War armistice. But unlike its enemy North Korea, it doesn't have nuclear weapons. As a key ally to the U.S., it would be seen as an enemy to China, but they're unlikely to attack it directly.
Oh, it's
That
up-
would be seen
it's
as
up
a
here.
escalation to the U.S. and likely trigger an attack on the mainland if its military
Oh, no, sorry,
bases
sorry,
like
sorry,
the
sorry.
massive Camp Humphreys were hit. But bad news for South
I
Korea.
actually have a good
It doesn't
loadout.
have to attack
For
it.
once.
China is one
Oh,
of the
My
few
Hero
countries that
Academia right
maintains good
here.
relations with the Hermit Kingdom of North Korea, and they try their best to keep the unpredictable Kim Jong-un under control. But what if they take the leash off and say, go to town?
Actually, oh my
It's a
gosh,
way
there's
to
so
keep
much
South Korea
my-
occupied while they go after
mythics
US
out in the map.
interests. But things could get out of control very quickly. Both
Oh, I hear
countries
the
are
hammer.
Small nations, and North Korea could deliver a devastating
Yeah, I
blow
actually
to
have
its
good
enemy,
loadout.
using its
For
short-range
once.
nuclear weapons to wipe Seoul off the map, clearing the way for an invasion into a destabilized country. But they might get more than they counted on. For one thing, using nuclear weapons on their close neighbor might lead to significant fallout hitting North Korea.
Actually, oh
But
my
more
gosh, there's so much.
dangerously,
There's a reboot van right here. Mythics out in the map.
US, and likely
Yes!
targeted with
No
massive
way,
Hold
bro.
on, I hear the
nuclear
hammer.
So
retaliation. It's very
No, I couldn't
likely
enter
that
the
if
zip
conflict
line.
between the two Koreas broke out in the
Uh,
middle of World War III, neither country would be in functioning shape by the time it was over, which would make the entire region highly vulnerable to a quiet Chinese takeover from their northern border. And to the south, another conflict could spiral completely out of control.
There's a reboot van right here. Nice bounty.
Pakistan have unstable
Yes!
governments or leaders.
No
Hold
way,
on.
bro.
They're fairly
That was
even
so
in military
close.
strength and nuclear.
No, I
arsenal.
couldn't enter the
That
zip
might
line.
Keep both at bay, as
Uh,
the Kashmir border conflict
oh,
stays
yeah.
on a low boil, even as India backs America's alliance and Pakistan backs China's. There's no guarantee of that. We've seen deadly border conflicts in recent years, and cooler heads usually prevail. But would the same hold when all countries all over the world are
Nice
being
bounty.
bombed? Or would one of the powers decide now is the time to settle the conflict permanently? The two countries are neighbors, and while they're both large countries, a large-scale nuclear conflict
Oh,
could
yeah.
likely bring fallout into both nations. They're also densely populated. Both are in
Okay,
the top
I'm
10
trying to use my
most
launch
populated
right
nations,
now.
with India in the cusp of first place. So any conflict would come with massive loss of life. The case scenario, if the conflict breaks out, is that both countries would stick to conventional weapons, resulting in a conflict full of death and destruction, but without the earth-shaking weapons that
Did you get him?
both countries
No!
But if one reckless leader crosses the line, it could result in a chain of events that would lead to more death than we've ever seen
Okay,
before.
I'm trying to use
And
my
in the
launch right
aftermath,
now.
The odds are good that China would sweep into the region just like it would in Korea. Would another
Where's
potential
the other-
flashpoint blow up in the Near East? It's questionable whether
Oh,
Israel
okay.
will even directly get involved in World
All
War
right.
III, but it may not have a choice. The small Mediterranean nation is between a
Did you
rock
get
and a
him?
hard place.
No!
It would likely be firmly
Yeah?
aligned with the American side. It might choose not to send troops to any combat theater. That's because it tries to maintain good relations with Russia, both because of the Jewish population in the former Soviet Union, and because Russia plays
Where's
a
the
key
other-
role in Syria, Israel's northern neighbor.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I got launched. Alright. No, you are?
To rain rockets down on the small country and cause major casualties that Israel's Iron Dome missile defense
Yeah?
system couldn't prevent.
You have a hot
But while
pocket?
Israel might not be looking for a fight, the fight might come to Israel. There's no country that Israel
I'm
has
dead.
worse relations with than Iran, especially after the former president Mahmoud Ahmadinejad threatened to wipe it off the map. As Iran ramps up its nuclear program, Israel
Oh my gosh, I got launched.
attack its infrastructure like
Bro,
it
really?
did back in Syria in the past. But would Iran strike first? The current president has denied the Holocaust happened and
You have a
threatened
hot
Israel
pocket?
repeatedly, so it might decide that a global conflict is a great opportunity to make its move.
I'm
If
dead.
it
I'm gonna go to
uses
lobby.
Conventional weapons, Israel would likely respond tenfold, and a new bloody regional conflict would kick off. But there's one deadly X factor here. If Iran is able to finish its nuclear weapon, or get help from
Bro,
North
really?
Korea or another rogue nation, it could attempt to hit Israel and wipe the tiny country out. Israel has a robust missile defense system, so there's a chance it could divert the hit and avoid a nuclear blast. But successful or not, an attempted nuclear
I'm gonna go to
attack
lobby.
would likely trigger massive retaliation, and Israel would almost definitely
Oh,
respond to a
let
successful
me add 'em, though.
nuclear hit with its own secret nuclear arsenal. And it likely has enough to turn Iran into a shell of its current self. So if things spiral out of control, it's possible both Israel and Iran could face existential threats. And there's one more country in the crosshairs. We've talked about the United States and China, and why they're likely to survive World War III, even if it goes nuclear. Both countries are large enough and stable enough that they could likely take nuclear
let me
hits and
add 'em, though.
survive, even if it resulted in massive amounts of damage. The only way either country could truly be destroyed is if things escalated to a point where the survival of humanity was threatened. But the same doesn't apply to Russia. While it is the largest country in the world, it's also uniquely vulnerable in some key ways. Here's how World War III could lead to the end of Russia as a nation. While Russia has over 145 million people, it also has one of the largest metro areas in the world, Moscow, which houses close to 10% of the country's total population. It's the home of much of the country's infrastructure, which means that the world could respond to a Russian nuclear attack by obliterating their largest
'Cause
city
we are.
overnight. Their second largest city, St. Petersburg, has over 5 million people and would likely be targeted as well. And no city besides those two has more than 1.6 million people. Those other cities are scattered around the massive Russian landscape, and it's likely that if the Russian government were decapitated in a strike, it would be very hard for the country to recover. And that could lead to a devastating change. Russia has repeatedly threatened the use of nuclear weapons, but
'Cause
no
we
one knows
are.
how many functioning ones they have. Some could fire and hit their targets, others could misfire, and some might not even fire at all, or blow up in their missile silos. But as soon as Russia uses nuclear weapons, NATO and its allies will retaliate, potentially leading to world-ending consequences. And in the aftermath, Russia might not look anything like itself. If Russia got to this size, and that can be taken away. With so many different ethnic
Yeah.
groups in the country, it's likely many would want to take advantage of the chaos to take control of their fate. We could see a much worse division of the country than we did after the collapse of the Soviet Union, with Russia losing some areas to other neighboring nations, taking back their territory, and others declaring independence for the first time in centuries. And as for Russia itself, its fate might be familiar to another European nation. Russia would be held responsible for starting World War III, probably
Yeah.
more than any other nation. After all, the chain of events started in Ukraine, so once defeated, Russia would likely be subject to harsh sanctions just like Germany was after both World Wars. It would be stripped of its conquests and additional territories, and many of the resources would likely be seized to pay reparations. European nations would lay claim to border regions, and top officials would face war crimes charges. In the aftermath of losing World War III,
Dang.
Russia would likely be a sliver of its previous self, under occupation, and with many of its ethnic groups no longer considering themselves Russian.
Oh dang, we're
Would
already
there
next
still
to
be
the
a
mark.
country called Russia? It's likely, but it wouldn't look or act anything like the Russia we know today. Of course, then there's that other possible answer to the
Oh dang, the
question
mark's
of
over
which
here now.
countries would be destroyed in World War III. In the worst-case scenario, it might just be all of them. Thank you to our sponsor,
Dang.
Conflict of Nations, the free online PvP strategy game happening in modern global warfare. Get a special gift of 13,000 gold.
Oh dang,
and
we're
one
I'm
month
literally
of
gonna
mark
touch its
for free by
toes.
using the link. It's only available for 30 days, so don't
I'm gonna
wait.
touch the
Get
landmark's
and start fighting
toes.
your way to victory right now.
Oh dang, the mark's
What
over here
happens
now.
if the worst occurs? Check out U.S. plans for a
'Cause-
nuclear attack, or watch why USA leaving NATO will
Yeah,
cause
yeah.
World War III instead.
Bro, you're 9
Of
too.
all the countries on Russia's borders, Ukraine is the one that keeps military planners in the Kremlin up at night.
I'm literally gonna touch it. That's why you don't tickle his feet? What the heck?
It's easy to understand the basics of
I'm gonna
why.
touch the landmark. So you saying you tickle it?
It extends for 800 miles through thick forests and snow.
'Cause-
It's essentially a no man's land where hardly anybody at all actually lives. These 800 miles are therefore extremely difficult to patrol and
Bro, you're
monitor,
9 too.
and even worse, or extremely difficult to guard and defend. And still worst of
That's
all,
why you don't
Finland's
tickle his
border has
feet?
for
What the heck?
centuries now been uncomfortably close to Russia's
So you saying you
second-largest and
you
greatest
tickle
city,
it?
St. Petersburg. Today, St. Petersburg is home to more than 5 million Russians. It contributes nearly 5% of the entire Russian economy. It is Vladimir Putin's hometown, and it is less than 150 kilometers away from the Finnish border. This all means that Finland has always possessed the geographic ability to seriously threaten the Russians if it ever became hostile. But Finland has never been able to do it alone, because the Finns themselves have always been small in number. There's only 5.5 million people who live in Finland today, which is about the same population as just St. Petersburg alone in Russia, while the Russians overall have 27 times more people throughout the country. Finland has never possessed the manpower to capitalize on their unique geographic advantages over Russia, which is precisely why the Russians have always been fearful of Finland gaining that manpower by allying with powerful enemies abroad and letting their armies enter the country. And for
No
those basic
way.
reasons, it has always been within the interests of Moscow to either dominate Finland outright, or at least keep them in a state of political neutrality. Because if Finland ever did come under the sway of a hostile foreign power, they could become the ones to capitalize on Finland's geography to threaten the survival of Russia. And so, for more than 200 years now, since the days of Napoleon, the Russian strategy of pacifying Finland and preventing them from joining hostile military
No
alliances
way.
more or less worked out. But in a matter of months, all of these centuries of careful Russian foreign policy and diplomacy in regards to Finland will come crashing down into ruins. Because Finland has finally decided to end its neutrality for good by joining the NATO alliance alongside the United States. It will cost the Russians dearly for generations to come.
Did you get your driver's
From the
license?
north, and it is one of the most catastrophic foreign policy disasters for the Kremlin to have come from Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Russia's strategy of dominating Finland began more than 200 years ago, back in 1808. At the time, the Russian Empire had recently allied itself to Napoleonic France, and the biggest enemy they faced were the British and the Royal Navy. Sweden, who at the time controlled Finland, allied themselves to the British.
Did you get your driver's
Finland is
license?
uniquely posed to directly threaten St. Petersburg when they acquire manpower from abroad. And back then, this was even more important because St. Petersburg was the capital of the Russian Empire over Moscow. Fearful of the Royal Navy's ability to utilize Swedish and Finnish ports in the Baltic to threaten St. Petersburg, the Russians demanded that the Swedes shut down all of their ports to the British and close the Baltic Sea to them, which they refused to do, and in response, the Russians invaded Finland in 1808 to take over the ports themselves. In less than a year, the Russians had completely overrun the entirety of Finland and decisively defeated the Swedes, forcing a peace that ceded Finland in its entirety over to the Russian Empire. In doing so, Russia had ensured the security of St.
somebody.
Petersburg by pushing their own line of control hundreds of kilometers away from it and dominating the Gulf of Finland on all of its sides,
Kinda leave
making
the
any
call if
hostile
you're not
attack
gonna
on the
play
Russian
with any of
capital
us.
almost unthinkable.
Dead again, bro. I'm
Yet,
dead.
Sweden was so decisively defeated during this war that they have never fought another one ever since. since. In fact, Sweden was so crushed by this Russian invasion that they would continue keeping their security policy officially neutral for the next 213 years until the 16th of May, 2022, when in response to another
But
Russian
can you kind of
invasion,
leave the
they
call
would
if you're not
finally
gonna
announce
play
their
with any of
intention
us?
to join NATO
Dead
alongside
again, bro. I'm dead.
And as for Finland, this Russian
Whatever.
invasion and conquest back in 1808 would prove to be equally as fateful, because they would remain a forced part of the Russian Empire for the next 108 years, until the Russian Revolution and the collapse of the empire during World War I in 1917. But even after Finland's independence, the Russians were far from done with them. In the chaos of the
Which
Russian
just rests me now.
Revolution,
Oh.
many states of the former empire emerged as independent besides Finland. But as the Bolsheviks won the Russian Civil War and began reassembling
Oh my
the
God.
pieces of the former empire, Finland entered right into the crosshairs of the Soviets. By 1939, the
AHP,
geopolitical
bro.
environment in Europe between the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany was tense. The two European superpowers signed the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, dividing Eastern Europe between them.
Nah, bro. I haven't even found any. Now.
With
Oh,
Finland
ammo.
being assigned to the Soviets. As the Nazis and Soviets jointly invaded and conquered Poland, the Soviets demanded fealty
Oh my
to
God.
the Baltic states in the form of them granting Soviet military bases on their territories, which they reluctantly agreed to.
AHP, bro.
The Soviet gaze next turned to Finland. At the time, Finland controlled more territory than they do today, especially across the Karelian Isthmus here, meaning
Nah,
that the
bro, I
Finnish
haven't
border
even
back
found
then
any
was only 32
ammo.
kilometers away from the Soviet Union's second largest city, Leningrad, modern-day St. Petersburg. Once again, ever fearful of Finland entering into a military alliance with a hostile foreign power and gaining the manpower to threaten Russia, in this case, an alliance with Nazi Germany, the Soviets presented the Finns with an ultimatum. They wanted Finland to cede territory in the Karelian Isthmus up to here so as to push the border further away from Leningrad. In addition to Finland ceding all their islands in the Gulf of Finland and allowing a Soviet military base to be built near the capital, Helsinki. In exchange, the Soviets would give Finland these territories further to the northeast to compensate them. But Finland refused and countered with an offer to cede a much smaller amount of territory down here in the south. The Soviets refused and countered again with a slightly less extreme demand for territory, which the Finns again refused and countered with a slightly more generous offer of territory. And after that, Stalin rejected diplomacy and ordered an all-out invasion of the country with 500,000 soldiers from the Red Army. That invasion turned into a quagmire for the Soviets as the Finns transformed their entire country towards fighting them off. The Soviets took more than 4 times as many casualties as the Finns during the invasion, with at least 320,000 killed and wounded, compared to just 70,000 for the Finns. Regardless, the Soviets managed to eke out a Pyrrhic victory and forced Finland into signing the Moscow Peace Treaty a few months after the invasion, in which Finland was pressed into ceding over 9% of their pre-war territory over to Russia, including the valuable city of Vyborg, which at the time was the second largest city in Finland, and which nearly a century later would become the starting point of Russia's Nord Stream pipeline to Germany. But Finland retained their overall independence.
You like,
Russia's
bro? You like
strategic
grapes?
victory
You like
in Leningrad was
grapes?
increased, but 15
I love
months
'em.
later, Nazi Germany launched their invasion of the Soviet Union, and Finland seized the
Hold on, I
opportunity
gotta
to
do something
ally
quick.
themselves to the Germans
Yeah?
and go to war with the Soviets again
Homework?
in order to reclaim their lost
Not
territories. They didn't really have
No!
much of a choice though. The
No!
Soviets were their primary enemy who had just attacked them and taken over some of their land. Sweden was
You
neutral,
like,
and
bro?
the
You like
Western
grapes?
allies
You
were
like grapes?
allies of the
Oh,
Soviets.
grapes suck.
I love 'em.
At the time, Nazi Germany was the only great power able and willing to support
Hold
the
on,
Finns
I gotta do
against the
something real quick.
Russians. German troops
Yeah?
were allowed to enter Finland, and the
Homework?
Finns assisted the Germans in the siege of Leningrad
yet!
in the greater invasion of the country.
No!
Finland and the Soviets would
No!
go on to fight for another 3 years until September of 1944, when they signed another peace treaty that essentially confirmed the status quo of the older peace treaty. Only this
Oh,
time,
grapes
Finland was
suck.
also forced into expelling all foreign militaries from their borders. Following the end of the war and the defeat of Germany, Finland realized that its geopolitical status as a small, capitalist country directly next door to an expansionist communist superpower who now dominated Eastern Europe and the entire southern shore of the Baltic was incredibly precarious. And so, in order to maintain their independence and sovereignty, they were left with little other choice but to essentially carry on throughout the Cold War as a neutral state. Finland never took part in the Marshall Plan and never received financial aid from the United States so as not to anger the Soviets. Finland agreed that it would resist attacks against the Soviet Union through their territory and would call on the Soviet army to defend them were such an attack ever to take place. And it never joined either NATO or the Warsaw Pact. And Yet, at the same time, the Finns organized their entire military
what?
and much of their society towards a singular purpose: deterring the Russians from ever attacking their country again through a fanatical policy of total defense. Mandatory military conscription for all men in the country remained in force throughout the Cold War, and Finnish military spending remained high for a country of their size. After the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, the land borders between Finland and Russia remained unchanged. The only difference was that instead of the Soviet Union next door, the country was now called the Russian Federation. Finland proceeded into the post-Cold War world cautiously. They technically abandoned their stance of total neutrality alongside Sweden by joining the European Union in 1995, but they each maintained their military neutrality by avoiding membership in NATO, even as NATO expanded eastwards to cover many of the former Warsaw Pact and Soviet republics, who were understandably fearful of a resurgent Russia in the future who might want to take them back over again. Sweden temporarily abandoned their military conscription in 2010 and began transitioning towards a smaller all-volunteer professional army. But Finland, with 800 miles of border with Russia and recent memories of the past, never changed course on their policy of total defense and mandatory conscription for men. Even today, 3/4 of all men in Finland continue to complete their mandatory military service and join the reserves. In the event of a war with Russia, Finland can rapidly mobilize around 280,000 men today to join the ranks of the army, and they have around 1 million men in total in the reserves that it can call upon if needed, representing more reserves than Germany, France, and Italy all combined, and representing nearly 1/5 of the entire Finnish population. And unlike the Russians, they remain well armed with the latest weaponry and firepower. While they didn't directly join NATO, the Finns cooperated with the alliance extensively in military exercises and purchasing of NATO weaponry. The Finnish army possesses around 1,500 artillery and rocket systems, which is one of the largest artillery arsenals in modern Europe and greater than the United Kingdom. They have more main battle tanks than Germany, a country of more than 83 million people. And their Air Force wields a fleet of 64 American-made F-18 fighter jets, which will very shortly be fully replaced with 64 modern American-made F-35 fighter jets, which will cost them $10 billion to acquire. And on top of their plentiful advanced equipment, the Finns themselves are highly motivated to defend their country. A poll conducted back in 2016 showed that Finns possess the highest willingness to defend their country anywhere in Europe, with a whopping 74% of the population saying that they would. And support for conscription in the country has never gone away. With a poll in 2021 showing 73% approval among Finns for maintaining mandatory conscription for men. As I said before, Finland's military and society has been designed over the decades in a way to deter another Russian invasion as much as physically possible. And even after the collapse of the Soviet Union, they have never gotten too comfortable with their neighbor. But Finland's foreign policy continued to avoid joining NATO outright so as not to provoke Moscow too unnecessarily. Even after the Russians invaded Ukraine for the first time back in 2014 and seized control over the Crimea Peninsula, a poll showed that only 22% of Finns supported joining the NATO alliance. That attack was just too small to send fears through Helsinki. But everything would change after February 2022, when the Russians massively escalated the geopolitical tensions in Europe by using 200,000 soldiers to launch an all-out invasion of Ukraine. And in doing so, showed their willingness to utilize warfare and invasion in Europe as tools in the 21st century, just like they did in the 20th. The calculus of risk for Finland, a country who, much like Ukraine, has been invaded by Russia in the past and was not a member of NATO and not under direct NATO protection, was changed irreparably. If Russia was willing to risk everything by invading Ukraine, they were unpredictable and potentially even irrational, and might be willing to invade Finland again, even if it seemingly made little sense to do so. And so the Finns finally decided to do something that they had avoided doing for decades, if not centuries. They applied to formally join a Western military alliance alongside Sweden, NATO. And now Russia has found itself in a catastrophic situation that it has largely managed to avoid ever since the Napoleonic era. In addition to Finland's formidable military strength on land and air and centuries-long experience dealing directly with the Russians, Sweden brings a lot to the table as well. The Swedish Navy is 500 years old and a first-rate force in modern Europe that has remained relatively dormant for centuries. They wield some of the world's most advanced submarines in the Baltic, and their company, Saab, produces some of the world's most advanced and capable fighter jets and radar systems. They also produce the NLAW anti-tank missile, which is currently second place only to the American-made Javelin in destroying Russian tanks in Ukraine. Combined with the F-18s and F-35s in the Finnish Air Force, the Swedes can directly rival the Russian Air Force's assets in Northern Europe without even factoring in additional assets from the United States. But it isn't just their own military prowess that concerns Russia if they join NATO. As it has for centuries, it is also their unique geographic ability to directly threaten core Russian territories and interests, and their ability
Sorry, I'm
to
not
utilize the
talking right now, I'm
manpower
just
of
listening
other
to
states in the
the
NATO
video
alliance
Karen
to
put
better
on.
capitalize on those
I'm
advantages.
interested in that
First
kind
and
of stuff,
foremost
you
are the
know?
naval considerations within the Baltic Sea. Finland and Sweden entering NATO will immediately transform the Baltic into a
I'm just
NATO-dominated
listening to it,
lake,
not talk that
with the
much.
only Russian points of control left immediately around St. Petersburg and the Gulf of Finland, and
I
their
like this.
exclave
I
around
like
Kaliningrad.
I
With the
like
northern and
I
southern
like
shores
my
of the Gulf of
favorite
Finland
subject
fully
to do.
beneath the NATO umbrella,
Sorry,
and
I'm
the
not
entire
talking right now, I'm
perimeter of the
just
Danish
listening to
Straits
the
added with the entrance of
video
Sweden,
Karen
and
put on.
considering that the Baltic itself
I was
is quite
interested in that kind of
shallow with
stuff,
an
if you
average
didn't know.
depth of only 54 meters, shared military
think it's
intelligence
very
and
interesting
sonar
and
will
cool.
permanently prevent the Russian
So I'm
Baltic
just
fleet
listening
and
to
its
it. Might not
submarines
talk that
from
much.
ever maintaining the element of surprise within the Baltic, and all of their movements
I like
will be able to
history,
be
that's like
accurately
my
tracked.
I like it.
Additionally,
It's like my
Sweden's control
favorite
over the
subject
island
to
of
do.
Gotland in the center of the Baltic will serve to grant NATO forces access to an unsinkable aircraft carrier that can be used to dominate the sea by air. Perhaps most importantly, these facts will mean that the security of the three Baltic states will be improved dramatically. Before the entrance of Sweden and Finland into the alliance, the Baltic states were widely regarded as the least defensible territory within NATO. The only way to reinforce them by land is through the narrow Suwalki Gap between Russia's highly militarized exclave in Europe, Kaliningrad, and Russian ally Belarus. A gap that is less than 70 kilometers wide across largely flat and difficult to defend terrain that the Russians would be theoretically capable of rapidly blocking in the event of a war, which would isolate the Baltics from the rest of NATO. A study made by the RAND Corporation back in 2016 suggested that in the event of a Russia-NATO conflict, Russian forces would be able to quickly close the Suwalki Gap and occupy the Estonian and Latvian capitals within 60 hours of the war beginning, leaving NATO in a difficult position to retaliate or liberate them. But that calculus is completely changed with Finland and Sweden in NATO. Any chance of Russian naval or air supremacy over the Baltic is essentially impossible, leaving NATO with the almost guaranteed ability to reinforce the Baltic states by sea and air, rather than by piling troops through the 70-kilometer wide Suwalki Gap on land. Gotland will be especially valuable towards this objective, granting NATO warplanes and ships a forward operating base to conduct supply runs and attacks on Russian targets in the Baltic states from. But then, there's also Finland's 800-mile-long border with Russia itself. With the ability to mobilize and deploy forces faster on this front than the Americans or Western Europeans, Finnish and Swedish forces could directly threaten Russia's second-largest city that lies almost immediately across this border, St. Petersburg. But that's hardly what's the most concerning thing to Russia here. Far more alarming to Moscow is their enormous concentration of military hardware and assets in the very far north of the Kola Peninsula, just to the east of Finland's northeastern border. The Kola Peninsula is one of the most heavily militarized locations on the planet, with a heavy concentration of Russia's nuclear weapons arsenal. There are multiple nuclear ICBM launch facilities dotted around here that have the range to strike anywhere in Europe or North America by flying over the Arctic Circle. There are also multiple bases here that are home to many of Russia's strategic bomber forces, including the Tu-160, the fastest operating bomber in the world that can travel twice the speed of sound and is capable of carrying nuclear bombs to most of Europe and North America by, again, flying over the Arctic Circle. And it is also crucially home to mermaids, the largest city anywhere within the Arctic Circle and one of Russia's most significant ports because of the fact that it is Russia's only port facility on the Arctic Ocean that doesn't freeze over during the winter because of the polar jet stream. Because of this fact, the Russian Northern Fleet is headquartered nearby in Severomorsk, with several other operating bases nearby, and it is the crown jewel of the Russian Navy and Russia's nuclear deterrence. With the Kremlin long being aware of how precarious their position is with the shallow and enclosed Baltic Sea, the Russian Baltic Fleet there only has a single submarine currently garrisoned with it, and it doesn't even have the ability to fire nukes. nukes. Russia has instead focused the majority of their nuclear deterrence against the West up here around their mates. The Northern Fleet controls the lion's share of Russia's advanced nuclear submarines, including the modern Bore-class subs, capable of carrying 16 ballistic missiles on board up to 96 nuclear warheads. There are also the conventional Yasin-class nuclear submarines that carry conventional cruise missiles that can be used to hit offshore oil and gas infrastructure and coastal targets. And unlike within the constrained and shallow Baltic, these submarines can operate across the Arctic Ocean under the ice, largely with impunity, and can even pass through the wider GIUK gap between Greenland, Iceland, and the UK in order to operate in the northern Atlantic. But Finland's entry into NATO massively complicates Russia's military planning and deterrence up here. Most important to consider is that all of Russia's ICBMs, strategic bombers, and the Northern Fleet itself in the Kola Peninsula are almost supplied entirely from the rest of the country by just a single twin highway and rail corridor called the R21, extending up north beyond St. Petersburg and Moscow. This highway and railway extends for hundreds of kilometers and crosses through some of the most sparsely populated and empty forests anywhere in the world. It all runs almost immediately parallel to the Finnish border, with less than 100 kilometers between them at the narrowest points. This means that in the event of a greater Russia-NATO conflict, rapidly mobilized Finnish special forces or even forwardly deployed American special forces could theoretically advance at any point along this long, hard-to-patrol area to occupy or destroy any section of the R21 highway and block off the majority of Russia's nuclear and submarine deterrent from receiving resupplies from the rest of Russia by land. That would be a disaster for Russia, and push them into a situation where they would have to either use their nuclear weapons on the peninsula or probably lose them. But the other problem is that with Finland and Sweden in NATO, NATO's geographic presence within the Arctic Circle would be greatly extended, granting the entire alliance better early warning missile detection from any ICBMs or bombers taking off from anywhere in the nearby Kola Peninsula headed towards Europe. With America and Europe's advanced missile defense systems and this advantage in early warning, it's uncertain exactly how many Russian missiles would end up striking their targets before retaliatory NATO missiles would strike theirs. And that's why, almost as a last resort to their increasingly terrible ability to actually deter the West, the Russians have recently been developing their ultimate doomsday weapon, the Poseidon torpedo. This is essentially a drone that takes the shape of a torpedo that possesses up to a 100 megaton nuclear payload, which is huge. It can be loaded up onto a new class of Russian nuclear submarine, the first of which is called the Belgorod, that was just recently delivered to the Northern Fleet in July of 2022, just after the invasion of Ukraine and the Finnish and Swedish announcements to join NATO. The Belgorod will be headquartered in the port of Severodvinsk on the White Sea, much further away from the Finnish border and the rest of the Northern Fleet facilities within the Kola Peninsula. This means that in the event of a war with NATO, the Belgorod and future nuclear submarines just like it, armed with the Poseidon torpedoes, should be capable of discreetly leaving port through the White Sea and the Arctic Ocean and towards either the GIUK gap in the west or the Bering Strait in the east. Once there, the Belgorod could fire the Poseidon, which can allegedly travel for up to 10,000 kilometers underwater before detonating its enormous nuclear payload immediately offshore of coastal targets like New York or Los Angeles, generating an incoming mega tsunami that would be impossible to stop or defend against once it happens. Once Finland enters NATO, and if they end up allowing American troops and bases to be set up there, Russia's ability to threaten the West with nuclear missiles and bombers through the air will be challenged, and their reliance instead on threatening nuclear deterrence with these kinds of underwater doomsday torpedoes will likely only increase. But it's unclear if Finland would actually allow American forces there in the first place. Finland still doesn't want to unnecessarily provoke the Russians after all, and they are explicitly joining NATO for the purposes of deterrence and protecting their own country from an invasion, not for launching an attack into Russia. The Finnish military is considered more than capable of defending itself, and as such, there's been a lot of talk of Finland following the so-called Norway model once it officially joins. Even though Norway was an original original founding member of NATO and has been a part of the alliance for decades. Its close shared border with Russia's valuable Kola Peninsula up in the far north meant that the Norwegians also made sure to never unnecessarily anger the Russians by allowing American and NATO military bases or nuclear weapons to be placed on their territory. And this has remained the case through the present. Should Finland join the alliance,
Can you try to
it
send
will
harder?
likely end up following a similar path and deny any other members of the alliance to station troops or nuclear weapons within their country, so as to continue not unnecessarily provoking the Russians. And at the same time, Finland and Sweden's entrance into NATO must be approved by all 30 other members of the alliance. And as of the production of this video, 2 have continued to remain as holdouts: Hungary and Turkey. Finland and Sweden expect that they'll both approve by the end of the year, and both should become full members of the alliance by April of 2023. And when they do, centuries of history will suddenly be upended, and Russia will face its most vulnerable position in the north it has ever faced since at least the 18th century. Now, security issues don't just affect countries on a macro level. They also affect individuals like you and me, regardless of how well prepared we are, and they can sometimes result in catastrophic consequences. One of my friends on Nebula has a channel here on YouTube, Alex's Corner, and they recently got their channel stolen and transformed overnight into a repository for cryptocurrency scam videos and live streams. This same thing has happened to literally thousands of YouTubers on this platform, both large and small, over just the past couple of years, who've all lost their accounts to crypto scammers.
I was just eating some crackers, that's it.
This keeps on happening because every creator here on YouTube and elsewhere gets constantly bombarded by emails that appear to be from places like YouTube, our bank, our social media accounts, or companies who want to sponsor us, but are actually just an elaborate and discreet attempt at stealing passwords in order to gain account access.
Yeah.
It's a scheme known as phishing.
That took a while. I literally like the videos.
I nearly fell victim to
I
one
like the
myself
videos
when I
that you
received
put
an
on.
email
But it's
that
fine.
appeared to be from YouTube informing me I received a copyright strike,
Oh, thanks.
which I opened and clicked on.
Okay, that must be like a
You
I
watched
like a lot
some?
of crackers.
Well, I logged into
listened
my
to
account
while
to
I was
enter my
playing
password, and
Minecraft.
that was all it took. The phishing
Okay.
attempt stole my password.
Honestly, I would have like finished those
Is
up
Nate
pretty
here?
quick, but you know,
where they diverted the
it's
account
fine.
where
Yeah.
all of my AdSense
Why?
payments were going to. And these schemes
Also, I literally like the videos. I just like I like the videos that you put
I'm
on.
getting on Minecraft, but it's geographical. It's like
I was just I like.
geography.
Yeah. Well, I listened to it while I was playing Minecraft, so you know, it was kind of good.
Is Nate here?
I watch it every
no,
day.
he left.
It helps me set a good mindset.
He was playing with
versus
one of his
5.
friends. Okay.
PvP legacy.
Ooh, the crystal lobby.
Yep. Did you know you can actually kill yourself in lobbies?
What? Oh,
Did you know you can kill?
Oh yeah, you can kill yourself. Yeah, I know about that.
But it doesn't really like show the like dead animation.
Mhm.
You just like spawn back where you were. Oh god, oh god. Wait, I got you low?
No, I was literally at 9 hearts, but my hunger was running out. So.
Can you really stop slapping me?
Okay.
Stop! It's even worse. No, stop slapping me. I'll slap you back. Slap battle.
Slap battle.
You're really supposed to spam click on when you're slapping people.
Oh my god! Yo, that was
You're
a 12 hit.
stopping me.
That was a 12 hit combo. I could see with Lunar Client. I just turned it on. That was a 12 hit combo. Dang, that's that hurts. I wonder how that looks on your camera, Witch King.
I mean, you can replay the like clip.
Oh yeah, that must not look good on your camera.
It's fine. I don't really care.
Okay.
You're playing too aggressive. Wait, bozo! No!
Come on.
You're literally smacking my booty.
I only have 1 gap, and you have 0. What's the point of running? Go on.
I'm gonna fight soon. Oh god! You're really mean to me.
Dang, GG.
Did you have no more gaps?
I had 1. Now, how do we both not get the crit? I feel like you heal when it's almost like too late. But you know, you're surviving, so technically it's fine.
That's why I save my gaps sometimes, but sometimes I just gotta eat it to eat it. Or just beat it to beat it.
I have 3 gaps.
Same.
Oh. Oh my god.
Yo!
That's a new W tapping method, actually. You could actually just go like, you can swing, you know, and then eat your gap for a little bit, but actually not eat it, you know. I'll just try to do it. It isn't the best W tapping method, though.
Move!
I have 2.
Stop! Okay, I'm about to die anyways. Move out my way! Just leave me at this point.
Yeah, I am. Okay, I'm at 1.
I literally spam clicking.
Explains how I was comboing either. Now that I'm dead, I should become a Fortnite skin.
GG's. But why do so many people use Lunar Client?
Cause it's like super good.
Look, that guy uses Lunar Client, that guy uses Lunar Client, this guy uses Lunar Client.
I know, it just doesn't make sense sometimes. Just how many people love Lunar Client. I mean, it's good. Like, when I first got it, it seems better than now. Like, now I'm just used to it. Here, if you want
Crystal duel? But I'm not good at crystals.
You said you've been practicing. You should practice this. I couldn't.
No, let me at least try something. Don't kill me yet, but I'm gonna try something.
Alright.
But why does it take us so long?
Oh, do you want to try, like, hit crystaling on me? Like, practice? I just won't move.
Ender pearls?
Just try hit crystaling me, actually. You can just go, like... Yeah, then you just... While they're midair, you go, like...
pearls.
Oh god.
You.
Come on, bro. Why every single time, bro?
You're just gonna have to chase me down until I die.
I mean, that's not gonna be that hard. Bro, stop! Stop, bro. Bro, are you this unfair?
Oh, look!
Come on, bro!
Okay, how about I stop, but give me a second.
Okay.
I need to get rid of all the ender pearls in my inventory.
No, you don't have to. As long as you're just not pearling like that. That's just unfair. You didn't know.
Well, not all of them, but like, I at least need some in my inventory. Now let's go. Quick charge on here? Yes, quick charge on here. Yo!
Okay,
Yo!
GG, man.
Well, how is your armor so good?
Both of our armors is good.
Okay, can we do my kit? Let me slash.
Well, we can't actually just do the method you prefer. There's like nobody in a game right now. Oh, best out of 3? Okay, so... Ooh, this is actually not bad, actually. I actually really don't think this is bad. It's actually kind of good. Except for the potion, the fire rest potion is not being splash. It's only...
Don't like splash potions. They're just weird. I played somebody in this kit and like got used to this kit already. But I literally tried speed bridging.
Oh.
Bro, you use that weird thing.
Come here. Come here.
No!
I'm trying to get you over here. That's why. So is the point of this kid just spamming blocks? Is that...
That just get. Did you know that it makes you go faster?
Yeah. Also a lag tactic sometimes. If you just don't have a good PC.
Bro, you're hitting.
I'm Fortniting, boys. Okay, got it. I'm gonna be Fortniting.
Bro, you're hitting me at a no fin seconds.
Should have put an axe.
Oh! Oh! You papido, niño. Let's go. Now, time to spin blocks. No! You stink! Stink! I hate you! Bro, you stink! Do you just like... No!
Bro actually puts knockback 2 in the swords.
It's actually not... Knockback?
Knockback actually, like, not that good.
I love knockback.
How dare you? Munchkin. Yeah, it's fine. Although that hurt my feelings. Munchkin.
I'm really trying to...
I'll speed bridge for you. I'll show you how it's done.
Bro, okay, can you teach me how to like build right?
Does anyone learn how to do this? Okay. Look at how much I speed bridged. Like 17 blocks. And then she can... Getting there.
Speed bridge! I love...
It's me, Mario on the Switch. Oh, thanks.
Bro, you're smacking my booty cheeks. Oh, this fire tick, it makes me double jump into the air. No! Drink the potion! Please, no! Ah!
What's up?
No!
I'm just gonna break your shield. GG, man. Okay, except my duel. I sent a bow duel.
A bow duel?
Yeah.
How about we do bow duel AV8?
AV8. Nobody's gonna queue it though. Bow duel's kind of boring. A little bit.
No, just like type it in chat. Like, bow duel AV8, join now or lose your chance.
Yeah, but that
Bro, what?
still doesn't work. Some people even get mad at you for doing that.
Why?
I don't know. It's weird.
How do you like get good aim?
I don't have good aim.
Bro, I feel like you sometimes have hacks. Oh, no, I know. Give me a sec. I think I know what you do. You use the zoom effect?
I don't actually.
Oh.
My zoom effect is enter, so I couldn't do that. And I use the right-handed mouse. Well, my mouse is actually ambidextrous. So. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I literally, oh my god.
How about we do like a server, I'm gonna stop streaming.
Oh, I have a cool kit.
Can you like tell me the server IP?
To what?
Tell you do lifesteal server.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna actually look up how to make your own server on Java.
Okay, I'll just give you the IP if you want it.
How to make your own server on Java Edition.
Yeah, I'm gonna start streaming too. Or stop streaming, I meant. Alright, bye.